So it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, and for the first time in 6 months, I decided it's time to start dating again. And by dating, I mean sitting in my pajamas in front of my computer, looking online at profiles on JDate. So, of course, the minute I log on, someone starts to instant message me, and of course I ignore it, because the only people who IM you at this hour want to get laid. And if I wanted a one-night stand, I wouldn't be looking for a neurotic Jewish boy with mama's issue. I'd just go to a bar. But something that Brett writes to me stops me in my tracks. He writes, "I will do anything I can to please you." Now, I've been out with a lot of guys in my life, and no one has ever said to me, "All I want to do is please you." So I tell him to send me a picture. I expect it's some balding computer programmer who lives in his mother's basement. Or because he's 27, maybe like a musclehead with tattoos and a gold chain. And I get the picture, and he's gorgeous. He looks like a darker Jude Law. He has cheekbones that could cut through ice and hooded, sensuous eyes. And then he tells me that he went to Harvard, and then he went to Yale for his master's, and he's a working writer. And I'm thinking, maybe he's lying, because, sometimes people lie online. But the next thing he tells me is really over the top. He says, "I want to be your sex slave. Can I come over now?" I'm like, "Now? As in now?" And he says, "Do you have anything better to do?" So I'm thinking, because, everyone's heard of the mythic fuck buddy, the person that you have a long-term sexual relationship who's not your boyfriend, but I've never really met anyone in real life who's had one. And I'm thinking, maybe in between the guy I'm going to marry and the guy that I'm going to sleep with once and never hear from again, maybe this is it. Maybe I can have a sex slave. So I tell him to meet me at a bar. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to have him come over to my house. And I'm sitting there at Swingers, ironically, the name of the place. And I'm waiting for this Harlequin romance novel guy to walk in, maybe his shirt open down to here, posing. But Brett looks like any other guy in Los Angeles, perfect. And he comes over, we kiss, hello, how are you? Kiss, kiss, hug, what do you want to drink? We sit down. And now I'm like, okay, now what? I haven't really thought this through beyond, like, are you a serial killer, rapist, murderer, And I can't really ask him how many brothers and sisters do you have, where are you from, because I hate those questions on a regular date, and I'm certainly not going to ask a potential sex slave about this. So I say, "So what does it mean to be a sex slave?" And he's like, "Shh, I don't like to talk about this in public." And I'm thinking, oh my God, Mr. Sex Slave has boundaries. So we go outside, and I just can't get it. He's really cute. He looks normal. I date him on a regular, non-sex slave basis. So I'm like, what's the deal? Okay, these are his exact words. "I have a tiny penis, and I like women to berate me and humiliate me." He says, "I want you to sleep with me, but I want you to sleep with other men and tell me all about it while you make fun of my tiny penis." I'm not kidding, I promise. He says, "In return, I'll do whatever you want. I'll clean your house naked, I'll do all your errands, I'll cook you dinner, and I'll fulfill all your sexual fantasies." I don't know what to say at this point, and I say, "You know what? Let me think about it." So I give him a kiss on the cheek, and I go home, and I'm thinking about it. Now, I just need to tell you something about myself. I come from a community that has been mentioned a lot tonight, but I'm just going to say it. I come from the Jewish community. But I've been raised celibate like a nun, and I don't really have any sexual fantasies. The only fantasies I have is getting married and having children and a nice house in the suburb and maybe a second house upstate or something. And secondly, all the women that I've known growing up were bossy, bitchy women who berated their husbands, their henpecked husbands. And I've sworn my whole life I'm never going to be one of those people. So how am I supposed to take someone, berate him, be mean to him, humiliate him, and tell him what to do when I don't even know what I want him to do to me? And I think, well, maybe this is a sign. Maybe I need someone who I can tell what to do. Like, maybe this is why he's in my life. So a few days later, I text him. I say, be at my house at 6 o'clock. I'm trying on this like new bossy voice, like telling him what to do. And it's 5:15 and it's 6:15 and he's not there. And I'm like, you're late. So I get a knock on my door and he's there and he's still gorgeous. And I'm like, hi, this is my house. This is my living room. This is my kitchen. Like, I'm a real estate agent and not like the future master of a sex slave. And he comes over to me and he takes my chin in his hands and he kisses me, and it's sweet and it's gentle and his lips are soft like rainwater and it's beautiful. And suddenly we're in my bedroom and our shirts are off and he's toweling my hair and he's massaging me, and it's more intimate than guys I've been with for 2 years. And suddenly I feel that feeling in my heart expanding like an accordion, because I've never learned how to distinguish lust from love. And then he takes, don't do that to me. He takes my hand and he puts it on his pants. I don't know why guys do this. I really don't. And he whispers, do you like a man with a large penis? And I know what I'm supposed to say right now, but I can't say it. So I equivocate and I say, well, I like a man who's good with his hands. And he says, okay, well, at least you didn't say, I like, size doesn't matter, even though that's what I'm thinking. And he starts unbuckling his pants and he says, I want you to make fun of me. I'm going to unbuckle my pants and I want you to berate me. And I want you to tell me how small my penis is. And I think, okay, well, I guess we've come this far. Maybe I should just sleep with him already. Because that's what I always think. I always get this far and I say I should sleep with someone because it doesn't matter. But it always does matter. But I ended up going through with it. And then I think, wait, this is my sex slave. I don't have to do anything that I want. I can do whatever I want. And I think, okay, well, I've gotten my massage. I've gotten my kissing. I've gotten my cuddling. That's enough. No penetration. So I stop him and I make him buckle up his pants, and I say, you know what, let's save this for next time. And I walk him to the door and I say goodbye and I say, I'll call you. And I think about it for the next few days, and I think about, I have a lot of errands around my house that need to be done. And I have a lot of sex fantasies that I probably should explore, but what I want is someone who's gonna do all these things for me, who's gonna do them because he loves me and he'll let me love him back, not because he wants me to sleep with other men and he has a small penis. So I don't call Brett, and I never do have a sex slave. And, at the time I thought I was making the mature decision, but looking back on it years later without having had a sex slave, I wonder if maybe I just lost my nerve. Klein, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God.